This is J.P. Banks.
All eyes on me when I walk in. I don't hear them suckers talking. All eyes on me when I walk out. Okay, let them haters talk now. All eyes on me when I walk in. I don't hear them suckers talking. All eyes on me when I walk out. Okay, let them haters talk now. I let them talk a lot about me when I'm not around.
What's going on, everybody? You already know who this is. It's your man's Shammy Snapshot. And I just want to say welcome, everybody, to the first episode of From Rookies to Legends podcast. I gotta give myself a round of applause. I definitely do, man. It's a long time coming. Definitely got to give myself a round of applause because we came a long way when it came to this. As you know, first and foremost, let's just say I had a chance to work on a podcast. Shout out to my bro, my man's Mad Mav over at Outside the Ring podcast. He is the host and creator of Outside the Ring podcast. So, bro, I really appreciate you, man, for having me on as your co-host. And, as I told you, this is not saying that, I'm done working with Outside the Ring podcast, but I told you, I had some big ideas and wanted to branch off on my own, but I appreciate the opportunity, man. Like, just being able to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, just be able to do my own thing. And, it's just, it's time to put these ideas I have to work, man. And I've learned so much from you doing it. For you to be so young, bro, you're doing great things. And I'm expecting even greater from you on the years to come. So yeah, shout out to my bro, Mad Mav. Now, this being the first episode, I just kind of want to talk about what From Rookies to Legends podcast is going to be about. And talk about why I had to start my own journey, First and foremost, y'all know I am Shammy Snapshot. I started off really doing photography for indie pro wrestling companies here in Michigan. And I also did some sports photography for a little league football team. So, for the indie pro wrestling company that I did photography for, I want to say shout out to Bubba over at Metro Pro Wrestling because he gave me my first shot of doing photography. So shout out to him and all the boys over there. Also, I want to say big shout out to my main man, Glenn Berger, my boy Glenn, Big G. Shout out to him. Shout out to Chuck. You know what I'm saying? Chuck Cole. Shout out to Brian Cole. Just shout out to the whole family over there at Supreme Championship Wrestling, man, because they really gave me opportunity to show out. Got invited to a few venues. Got to see my first ever TNA Impact show. Shout out to Whip Dog. Shout out to Mr. John E. Bravo over at TNA Wrestling, man. Like, shout out to them. Like, I got a chance to be able to work with people that I've never been able to work with before. Some of the talent that was on the indie circuit, I got a chance to photograph them and they actually made it to TNA Pro Wrestling. I got a chance to photograph the Motor City Machine Guns who made it to the WWE roster. So shout out to them. So, what really made me start, getting into podcasting? Well, of course, Mad Mav, got me into the podcasting with, doing some of the show work with him over at Outside the Ring. So I got a chance to do that. We got a chance to interview some talent. I got a chance to interview some people as far as on the indie pro wrestling circuit, and it was fun. We got a chance to do some recaps after we watched a couple of PLEs and got a chance to do recaps of WWE NXT, SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw. So that was dope. But, I've always had a vision that From Rookies to Legends was all about, we see legends or, current people in the game, the veterans. They always got the spotlight. The spotlight's always on them. They're always given the spotlight. They're always given a chance to be seen, be heard. But From Rookies to Legends, I felt like the rookies or the up and comers in the game, and not just the sports industry, just entertainment industry in general. Rather you be an indie pro wrestler or you're a, a basketball player, football player, you play soccer, if you're an up and coming author, if you're an up and coming movie director, actor, actress, musician, it doesn't matter what it is. I want to get that spotlight on those individuals. And that's what From Rookies to Legends, the podcast is all about. We're all about getting that together. And everybody's doing podcasts nowadays. But, a lot of people sit there and they ask the question like, is there room for another voice in podcasting? Is there room for another voice in sports and the entertainment industry? You know what I got to say to that? Like my man Stone Cold Steve Austin says, oh, hell yeah. Or like LA Knight says, yeah, it's always room for another voice in the sports and entertainment industry. Why not? Why wouldn't there be room? I've been told by people I have the voice for it, the charisma, the personality. So why wouldn't I use that? Why wouldn't I use my platform that I've already been working on since 2020? Why wouldn't I use my platform to get me somewhere? And shout outs to Full Sail University, my alma mater. Shout out to Full Sail University because it was them during the pandemic. I joined their school and I graduated November of 2022. But it was one of my classes that I came up with the idea of From Rookies to Legends. And ever since then, I've been riding with it, because it's my brand. It's me. It's a part of me. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So it's more so now. What type of guest am I going to have on here? As I said before, we're going to have athletes. We're going to have some musicians. We're going to have some actors, filmmakers, content creators, entrepreneurs, just any and everything, models, whatever it is that people feel like they want to have themselves heard, that's going to be my platform. I'm also going to talk about, current events and things like that. We're going to get some serious talking going on. We're going to get some motivational talkings going on because everybody needs a little motivation. Everybody needs a little pick me up here and there. And I want to be that source for that. So, that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to also discuss, we're going to get into some majors too. We're going to discuss some major sporting events, some major business in the entertainment industry. We'll talk about some of the legends and things here, some of the vets. We're going to talk about, whatever season's going on, so we're going to talk about it. NFL season, we're going to talk about NFL football. We're going to talk about NCAA football. If that's in right now, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about WWE. We might talk about some MMA. We might talk about some BKFC. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. I mean, why not? Why not? People might say, hey, baby, you're a little bit of everywhere. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a little bit of unorthodox, damn it. I'm a little bit of unorthodox. I'm different. I'm not everybody. Matter of fact, I'll take the title of my my first ever EP that I dropped on all streaming networks. We are not the same. So that's what I have to say to anybody that's doubting me, anybody that thinks otherwise of this platform. We are not the same, bro. You're scared to take risks. I'm not. I'll jump off that cliff with that parachute, not knowing if it's going to work or not. Because I got faith that at the end of that, when I jump off that cliff, that parachute's going to open up and I'm going to have a safe landing. So, hey, you can think what you want to think. You can say what you want to say, but I don't care because I don't care about the naysayers or the doubters. Not at all. Nobody should. Now, like I said, my listeners expect the unexpected. That's all I can say. How, people want to say this is how my show is going to be different. From rookies to legends, bro. It's already different. I'm different. There's no other. It's like, you know what? At this point, talk is cheap. So I'm going to just let my show do the talking for me. I'm going to let my show do the talking for me. But again, I still want to make something clear about me branching off and having my own podcast. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to be a part of the Outside of the Ring podcast with my homeboy Madman. And I have nothing but respect for him, his platform, and any individual that we were involved with during my stint there. And that's not to say that I won't be back on that show. And that's not to say that I might have Mad Mav as a guest on my show to talk about his story. Because everybody has a story. Everybody does. But I've always had ideas, opinions, and a vision of my own. Everybody does. But I want to bring my vision to life. And I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. But this is about me taking the next step in my journey. And this is how I have to do it. So, how we're going to do this and our mission here is simple. Everybody celebrates the legends. Everybody celebrates the veterans. But who's celebrating the rookies? We want to meet the rookies while they're still rookies and follow them on their way to legendary status, on their way to greatness. That's the heart of this podcast. That's the heart of this podcast. We'll be talking about up and coming hoopers. I'm in Michigan right now. Eventually, I plan on going back down to Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm in Michigan right now. I might hit a few local games for the high schools and see who's the top prospects in the state of Michigan or in the area that I'm in. And maybe get one or two of them on a few of them on the show to talk about what they're doing, their rise, and what they plan on doing next. That's what From Rookies to Legends is all about. That's where Rookies to Legends becomes more than just another sports podcast or another entertainment podcast. That's where we stand tall like a giant over everybody else. So that's what I plan on doing with this podcast. And we got a long way to go. We got some ups and downs. But we're going to make sure we get through it. We're definitely going to make sure we get through it. So I also want to introduce that we're going to have a segment and on every show called the Rookie Watch. Now, I'm probably going to do maybe the top 5 or the top 10 rookies. And it might be a mixture of everything. It might be a mixture of in the sports, an athlete. It might be a mixture of musicians, actors, actresses, authors, like I said, directors, things like that, content creators. But it's going to be a rookie watch for people to watch out for. Because you might want to watch out for somebody who might be the next best thing in those lanes. And you might end up seeing that person down the line. You might see this high school kid hooping for the NBA one day. So, every episode I want to highlight somebody that I believe has legendary potential. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And then from there, I'm going to give what I call my R2L legend rating. So my legend rating is basically going to be a prediction of how far I think they're going to go. Or not so how far I think they're going to go, but what I want to see from them based off of how they're doing now. That's what I'm going to do. And potentially, like I said, have them on my show. So that's potentially what's going to happen, when it comes to that. So right now, as far as this is my introduction. Of course, as far as my intro, I've did music for 27 years, and I write my own music. So right now, I'm using "Bu," which is a single that me and my son created in 2022, and I'm going to use that right now for my intro for my podcast. But I got something cooking up, man. Y'all got to believe I got something cooking up. Okay, I got something cooking up. But yeah, we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything, even down to the gaming. We're gonna talk about gaming because everybody knows there's a lot of dope games coming out soon. We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna give my rating and my feedback on it. I'm also gonna be recording the podcast as well. I'm working on setting up, uh, just trying to set up like some streaming. So if I do get on there and game, I can set up some stream. We could talk turkey. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit about something. But that's what I'm trying to do right now. So this podcast today isn't going to be very long. It's just kind of giving you the rundown of what I'm going to do when it comes to this. Now, aside from that, I have a few people in mind that we're going to have on the show. I got a few people in the indie pro wrestling circuit I'm going to reach out to. I have an individual who, if you guys ever heard of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, I have somebody I'm going to reach out to as well who actually happens to be blood family. But we're on the same bloodline, warrior line in our blood. Look, we're in the same bloodline. We the ones. Shout out to Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Zilla Fatu, my man Roman Reigns. Shout out to Roman Reigns. Shout out to Tama Tonga, Tongaloa. Shout out to the whole bloodline, man. Just shout out to the whole bloodline. Shout out to WWE. But yeah, I have a lot of lineage in my blood, man. Like we also gonna have a black bull rider who happens to also be family, blood, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. Bloodline is crazy, dude. The bloodline is crazy. We got a little bit of everything. Got a few athletes. I got a motivational speaker that I'm going to be reaching out to get on the show. We got some young athletes starting on, high school players. We also got a model. We also got a few artists, philanthropists. We got a lot of things that we're going to be shooting for on this end. But like I said, I'm trying to get a spotlight to those who are on the rise, what you could consider in any industry. Oh, that's a rookie. Yeah. But we're going to get to that legendary status. And I'm going to be one of those people who's pushing that platform for those. So yeah, that's what we're going with. I mean, we got a lot of different things we're going to be talking about. So, right now, this, like I said, this podcast wasn't going to be too long. It's going to be about 20 minutes or so. But I just wanted to introduce, and let you guys know, what the hell to expect from me. Because everybody's in the podcast world, everybody's podcasting, but you got to do certain things that make you stand out. And that's what I'm trying to do here. You know, I'll be taking you guys with me as well if I go on any trips or out of town to, do things. Because sometimes you might have to step and go where other people are. When if I, get invited to some of these events, like, BKC got an event coming up soon. I think my cousin might be having an event. I might podcast, that night of the event and probably do like a day with him and doing his training, preparing for his fight. So it's a lot we got going, man. So you just got to be there for it, man. I've already been working on my merch as well. So I'm going to have some merch. I'm going to be doing some giveaways to my listeners, my followers, and things like that. We're going to have a good time, man. I'm going to make sure to give back. It's not about me making money off a podcast. It's just me letting my voice get heard and making sure that everybody else is seen and heard who's on that rise to legendary status. So this is where I want to leave you with. From rookies to legends, man. Like, we're here to witness the journey of those on the rise. Because we're not just talking about the moment. We can't just talk about the moment. We can't just talk about the rise. We're here to make every moment legendary. And that's what I want to leave y'all with here. That's what I want to leave y'all with. Just let that sink in. Think about that. Like, we're not just talking about the moment. We're here to make every moment legendary. And that's what you should be doing every day in your life, man. Making every moment worth it. Making every moment legendary. Even when somebody tells you can't do something or you're not something, you are. And make sure you make them put their foot in their mouth. Because at the end of the day, you are here. I am here. We are here to make every moment legendary. So I appreciate y'all tuning in and giving me a chance to explain what my podcast is going to be about and the things to expect from Shammy Snapshot. So I hope y'all get ready, fasten your seatbelts, prepare for a lot that we got coming up. Because like I said before, we're here to what? Make every moment legendary. I love y'all. Keep doing y'all. Keep living it up. And stay tuned for episode 2 of From Rookies to Legends. Peace.
This is J.P. Banks.
All eyes on me when I walk in. What? I don't hear them suckers talking. All eyes on me when I walk out. Walk out. Okay, let them haters talk now. All eyes on me when I walk in. I don't hear them suckers talking. All eyes on me when I walk out.